Sitting alongside me is a guy that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. He's a former 6-time WWE Hardcore Champion, a 3-time WWE Tag Team Champion, a 1-time NWA Tag Team Champion. He's just wrote a book, his autobiography, The Hardcore Truth, and it's a pleasure to have you here today, Bob, in Melbourne.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Now, you've been in Melbourne for a few days now. I know you've got a very busy lifestyle. Have you had a chance to get out and experience everything Australia's got to offer?
Not yet. I've been pretty busy on this tour, because I came straight from England to here. So with a few canceled flights and delays and stuff like that, I've just been pressed for time, and it's usually just get in town, go straight to the building, do the show, and then fly out to the next town. So I really haven't had time to do anything now.
And on your first day off, you get a couple of guys like us coming up for an interview. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You're best known for your 16 years in the WWE. We've all heard how hard the lifestyle that can be there, how full on it is. How's life without WWE, without that schedule? It must be a massive lifestyle change.
It's a huge lifestyle change. I'm really enjoying it now because I'm in control of my life. I dictate what I do, because when you're with them, they pretty much dictate everything you do, and so it's almost like a huge relief. It's a weight off your shoulders, and I get up every morning and it's like, okay, what am I going to do today? So, it's like I don't have to rush off to the airports or anything and catch flights or, and what I do now is I do independent shows here and there now, and I pick and choose what I do. I don't do too many because I don't want to get back wrapped into the whole traveling thing again. So, but that's pretty much what I do now, just take it from day to day, and sometimes if we decide to go somewhere, we'll pack up and go and be gone for a couple weeks, traveling across country. I drive everywhere because I don't like to fly. I've flown so much, and just driving, you just have the freedom to do whatever you want. So,
it must be good after all them years to live life on your terms after 16 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you look back on your career and do you think you accomplished everything? Is there anything that you wanted to do but you never did? Any regrets about your career in the WWE?
No, I don't have any regrets whatsoever. It'd have been nice to have been world champion. It'd have been nice to have been U.S. champion. It'd have been nice to be Intercontinental champion, which those are, 3 titles that I never got to hold in my, 15 years being there, which, I'm okay with it. I still made good money, during the Attitude Era and stuff like that. So, and it's, to me, it's not about titles. It's about enjoying your job, going out there and doing what you're told to do and having a good time. And, it's not about, more money comes with being a champion, but to me, it's not all about money. It's about enjoying your job and having a good time. And that, to me, like I said, it would have been nice to be world champion, and have that big fat paycheck that comes with it. So, but I have no regrets whatsoever, so, yeah.
Well, during the Attitude Era, there was a massive boom in Australia as there was America. Every single kid at my school, I grew up watching you, so it's a privilege to have you here today. Every second kid had a wrestling T-shirt on, and you were at the top of your game then, and I think you'll be really well respected down here in Australia when you're on this Saturday. So, at this point in your career, we're seeing you give a little bit more guidance to up-and-coming wrestlers. You've got a seminar coming up at the Vicious Assault Wrestling Academy. How does it feel to get back into the business in that way?
Oh, I love doing seminars. I absolutely love it. I take my time and I spend a lot of time, like I'll spend 2 to 3.5 hours doing a seminar, and I get in there with them and show them some things. I don't do a whole lot physically with them because, their abilities and stuff like that. So I just, I don't want anybody to get hurt. And I try to make them understand how the game is played as far as storytelling, and because that's what it is. You're telling a story, and I try to explain to them it's not how much you do, it's what you do is what counts, so, but I really, really enjoy it. I have fun doing that stuff. I really do.
You talk a lot about the storytelling in your book, The Hardcore Truth, and I've got to say that is the best wrestling book I've ever read. It's exactly what the title is, Hardcore Truth. It seemed like you weren't under a WWE umbrella like a lot of these books coming out. You didn't care whose toes you stepped on. You told the story how it was, and that's the first time I've ever heard it. And I really enjoyed the book, and I recommend anyone that is into wrestling to buy that book. What made you decide to put your story down on paper and bring out the book?
Just kicking it around a little bit, and actually the writer from England is the one that twisted my arm kind of to get me to do it, and I wasn't, because I was like, who's going to buy my book? Bob Holly, he's a mid-card guy. Who's going to really buy my book and listen to what I have to say? And so I was really totally shocked when we had written it, and the reviews we were getting were just unbelievable. Yeah. So, the credit goes to Ross Williams, who wrote the book. So he's the one that did he did the hard work. He put everything down in my words, So and that's nice, because, and another thing too is, like, I wanted people to know, from my aspect, my views, my opinions, and my feelings on things. I wasn't worried about, okay, am I going to ever get a job back with WWE again? Or, I didn't write it, like that, because I'm not worried. I don't care if I ever go back there. Not that I don't want to or have any desire to. It's just, I'm not, if they want me back, fine. If they don't, I'm fine with that too, because I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So I'm just. And even if they did call me, I probably would not go back. Because I like to be in control of my life. Because, they pretty much dictate your life, and I'm spoiled now. I'm back in control of what I can do. How I dress, how I talk, how I act, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Now you've done the hard yards, so now you get to enjoy the fruits of your labour. So. In Australia, we've seen a lot of guys take the next step. We just recently had MCW's own Matt Silva signed to WWE. We also had a guy, Ryan Rollins, signed to Mexico to AAA. To all the aspiring wrestlers down in this country, what would be your words of advice to them to take that next step?
Number one, get in shape. Number two, find a good, reputable trainer that has been somewhere, that knows what it takes to get into WWE. Because you have a lot of people that train these guys that think they know, that haven't been anywhere. It's like the other day I was doing a seminar actually in England, and the guy that had trained them before, some of the guys just, to me they learned the wrong way. And then when I told them, I did a lot of, I gave them a lot of information, and they said, well, that's not quite the way we were supposed to do it. And then I asked him, I said, where has this guy been? Has he been there? And he goes, no. And I said, there's your answer. So how would he know what it takes to get there? So, and the thing too is, I tell these guys, if you have somebody that's been somewhere that's coming in for a training seminar, people need to jump on that, because you're going to have firsthand knowledge of what it takes to get into WWE, because that's where everybody wants to go. That's the big dance. And so, a lot of people, pass up the chance to do it. And it's like, to me, it's foolish to pass that chance up, because how often does a former superstar come in that knows what it takes to pass on that knowledge? So I think that's key to, learning is, somebody that's been somewhere to come in and teach them.
Yeah, it definitely takes a certain type of guy to be able to make it in wrestling. I went to a wrestling school, I did one bump, and I learned it's not for me. I think I'll put on a suit jacket and I'll interview, I think.
Some people they think, oh, I can do that, and then they get in there and find out, oh, they can't do that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's talk a little bit about this Saturday night. MCW Final Battle, Craigieburn Leisure Centre. You take on a hardcore legend in this country, Crackerjack. In a match that that's a dream matchup here in this country, and it's a no holds barred match. What can the fans expect on Saturday night?
I don't know what to expect from him, but I pretty much can handle anything that's thrown my way. So it'll be interesting.
Well, we're going to see more of Hardcore Holly this Saturday when he takes on Crackerjack at the Craigieburn Leisure Centre at MCW Final Battle. Bob, I appreciate your time and taking the time to speak to all the MCW fans, and I'll see you on Saturday night.
Hell yeah, thank you.